Hi friends, my name is Jo and welcome back to my Bookish Corner. This weekend is the 4th of July and we are going back to Cam's family camper, so I thought I'd bring you guys along with me. It is actually July 3rd today, so it's a Thursday, but I had a half day today and neither Cam nor I work tomorrow, so we've got some fun plans for this evening and tomorrow, and I thought I'd bring you along with me just to enjoy. So welcome to the vlog, and let's get into it. Alright, so first, I had this in a different vlog, and I just wanted to show you guys because it's so cute. I went to like a pottery painting place that we have nearby with a friend the other weekend, and I got my piece back. And is this not so cute? I'm so proud of it. I don't usually do much like drawing art stuff, but I'm so proud that I was able to do this with pottery paints. So that's that little update. Otherwise, our plans for today, Cam did some cleaning yesterday, so all I'm gonna really be doing today is finishing up some laundry and then tidying around the house a little bit because there are some spots that have just gotten a little bit messy. Other than that, I'm going to be picking which books I want to bring this weekend. First of which is absolutely going to be The Summer Book by Tove Jansson. I'm not sure if I'm going to start the summer book before we leave or if I'm going to start it when we're there. Haven't decided that yet. Other than that, there are quite a few books on my July TBR, which if you haven't seen it yet, go watch that video. There are quite a few books on my July TBR that I'm going to be bringing as well. Still haven't decided which ones I'm going to bring yet, but we'll do that at some point. Tonight we're also going to visit a coffee shop in a town nearby that has flights, and Cam doesn't like coffee, but for the 4th of July they have soda flights. So we're gonna try one of those, probably walk that downtown, maybe stop at a couple boutiques, we'll see, or we'll just hang out at the coffee shop. Either way. So that is kind of the plan for tonight. Tomorrow we've got some fun things happening. I know we're gonna try to hit the gym at some point. I know we're gonna do a lunch special at one of our favorite Indian food places nearby. And then probably just spend some time outside. And then we're gonna drive to the camper in the evening. So that's kind of the plan for tomorrow. I think there's a fireworks show at the camper. I know that they have a coffee truck that comes in Sunday morning. And I'm not entirely sure what Saturday is going to look like yet, but hopefully I will just get a lot of reading time just like I did for Memorial Day weekend. So, thanks for coming along with me. I'm so excited for this weekend and to spend it reading and getting outside and just having fun, disconnecting a little bit, and I'm excited to bring you with me. So, let's go do some tidying and probably pick some books. And I was gonna take a little bit of a break from it, but then I decided that I would keep going since I was on book 7 out of 10, so I figured I'd just finish up the series while I'm in the middle of it. For context, Ranger's Apprentice is a children's fantasy series, takes place in a different world. This orphan boy starts off as an apprentice in the exclusive and kind of mysterious Ranger Corps for the kingdom. Basically, they're spies. Essentially, they're trained in the art of like moving without being seen, and they're insane archers, and like they're kind of intelligence gatherers and critical thinkers and problem solvers, that kind of thing. So they're this like elite force within the kingdom, and he starts out as an apprentice. At this point in the series, he's not an apprentice anymore. He's like a full-fledged ranger. This was one of my favorite series when I was younger, when I was like in middle school. I loved the Ranger's Apprentice series. Rereading it, I still love it. It's still very fun. But I'm definitely noticing things that I didn't put together the first time I was reading it. So I'm on book 7. Our main character is Will, and he grew up with these other kids, and they're back and they're seeing another one who in the first book was described as like plump and pretty. And in this book, it's been a long time since he's seen her, that kind of thing. And he basically is like, he had noticed there was something different about her when she'd first approached the table, and now he realized what it was. She had lost weight. And he had a friend that had been interested in her the last time they'd been around her, and he remembered how taken with her his friend had been when they'd first met. Wait until he sees you now, Will thought. And that was just a wild thing to read, of like, he thought you were cute then, but now that you've lost weight, with no other description of anything that's changed, like, that's the only important thing in the updates. She's the head chef at an inn and like doing super successfully and all the things she dreamed of and whatever, and that's what he is thinking about her and saying about her. And so that was kind of disappointing, I think, for me, of like, I've loved these series, I've always said I've loved these series, I've recommended these series, and kind of just realizing that there are these pieces that as a kid I didn't notice, but also like I was obsessed with these. Like, little things like that would absolutely play a part in some of the image issues I have. Like, every girl in this book is described as tall and thin and blonde and beautiful, and that's pretty much the only description they get. They're either ash blonde or honey blonde, some version of blonde, tall, thin, beautiful, whatever. It's usually those description words. So that's been a very interesting part of reading this series again, realizing how, like, something that you loved so much can still have faults and be, like, there can be problems within. And that's kind of sad, but also, you know, it's life. And I still like the series. I still have fun reading it. It's still adventurous and fun. But, like, it is tough being a woman and realizing that, like, the women in this book, there are definitely pieces that are valuable and positive ways that they are portrayed, but they're also very much damsels in distress and, like, serve the main purpose within the book and the story seems to be to serve a piece of the male storylines. Like, none of them really have their own. There isn't really much backstory for any of the women. None of them get a lot of attention. So that's been a little difficult for me and tough to get through. But, you know, that's why it's important to reflect on all of what we take in and all of the media that we consume, even if in our memory it was wonderful and had no faults. It's helpful to reread it and realize that that's not necessarily true. Currently, I'm about a quarter of the way through The Kings of Clonmel, which is book 8 in the series. And did I say I was going to tidy and clean? Yes. Have I done any of that? No. I did load the dishwasher. Other than that, I ate lunch, and honestly, I just want to be outside because it looks so nice out. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I might go outside. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. two-tone s'mores coffee syrup. So I just made a s'mores latte. It's really good. It's really good. This is super fun. Flavor for the summer, yes. Anyway, now that I have coffee, I'm going to do some editing before Cam gets home. Update. It is the 4th of July today. I did read more of Ranger's Apprentice, but I haven't started any other books yet. I also did not get any prep done for the weekend, so we'll be doing that today. Last night, we couldn't get the soda flight that we planned on because the place closed at 3, which we did not notice, but we did end up getting, there was another place like right next to it, and we ended up getting these yummy like teas from there. Cam got a blood orange soda. I got like a strawberry dragon fruit tea. Super yummy. That was a vibe. Sat and drank those for a while, and then we walked around that area, walked by the river a little bit. It was very fun. We did end up staying around the area for quite a long time, and there was a parade that was going down the street for the 4th of July, I guess. But it was just kind of a lot of trucks with lights on them. There were some cool things, but it was mostly a lot of trucks with lights on them. Anyway, this morning we slept in because what else do you do on a day off? And then we had a really yummy breakfast of fruit salad and croissants with jelly on them. So good. And I made a strawberry latte, which was delicious, from homemade strawberry syrup from strawberries that we picked with our friends. That just, it feels so good. It's so fun. So I made a strawberry latte, delicious, and then we went and worked out at the gym, did upper body day. Woo, strong. Actually, I won't be able to move my arms tomorrow, but it's totally fine. We did upper body because I wanted to be able to walk this weekend. So good choices, friends. Good choices. We're gonna head over to lunch as soon as we double check that they are open today. So we're gonna do a call there, make sure that they're open, and get some yummy Indian food for lunch. And I'm so excited. I haven't gone to this restaurant in quite a while, and it is one of my favorites in the area. So pumped for this. Can't wait. This afternoon, we don't really have a plan, but we're gonna leave for the camper after dinner. I think we have to pack and everything. We're not ready to go at all. So this afternoon we're gonna pack, get ready to go, and then we'll leave for the camper after dinner. And that's the plan. Maybe I'll get a little reading in. Unlikely, but we'll see. And I will talk to you guys later. update, whatever. We got here last night, and I read a little bit before bed of the Ranger's Apprentice book that I'm currently on, which I think is Kings of Clonmel, book 8. So I read a little bit more of that. The storyline is a little slower on this one. It's moving a little slower paced, and there's a lot of like the band, Will, Holden, Horace, coming together, separating, coming together, separating, and it's kind of hard to keep track of who's where when. So that one's going a little bit slower. So this morning I decided to start the Summer Book by Tove Jansson, which is a book that Cam gave me. I only got like 6 pages in. It's not totally what I expected. It seems a little bit more of like a reflection on beginning of life, end of life, that kind of thing. The grandma seems like, again, only 6 pages in, but the grandma seems almost like a cynical character, which I don't think was what I was expecting based on like descriptions of it being cute, but we'll see. I read a little bit of that, and then Cam and I went for a walk. We came back, hung out a little bit. We went for another walk, and then it's one of their friends' birthday this weekend, so we went over and had brunch and kind of celebrated her a little bit. I think I'm gonna read a little bit, and then we might go down to the like pond this afternoon and swim a little bit. So maybe some mini golf, maybe some swimming, probably a lot more reading. Quick review, I think I gave it 3.75 out of 5 stars. I did realize it was written, I think, originally in Swedish and then translated, but there was still some beautiful prose, and I really enjoyed that. I underlined some things, and I don't usually annotate in books, but I used a pencil, and that felt better than using something more permanent. So that was pretty fun. There was some really pretty statements in there, and I liked that. I also really loved the relationship between the grandmother and the granddaughter, and the way that he switched the perspectives. And so not only was it written from the perspective of like the granddaughter, but it was clearly written from the perspective of like a young child versus the perspective of an elderly grandmother, which it was very cool seeing the differences in the perspectives and how they looked at the world and how they understood the world and thought about the world. So I did really enjoy that. It was short and cute and very summer. There just wasn't a whole ton of plot, which is kind of the point of that kind of book. But I think for me to get like a higher rating, there would have needed to be a little bit more plot points. But yeah, I did really enjoy it, and it was very fun and cute to read the weekend of July 4th. That's my update on that. I got a Maui mango smoothie, which was just mango, strawberry, and frozen yogurt, I think. And it rained a little bit, but not much. So there is supposed to be a storm later today, so we'll see how much more we get to do outside. But I think I'm going to either continue reading Ranger's Apprentice or start another book. I'm not entirely sure yet, but we will see. I'm just gonna check in and kind of do like a conclusion to the vlog. It is Sunday and we are driving home from the camper today. It was a great weekend. We did lots of walking, which is always fun, and I got some reading in. Yesterday it did start raining and was then just on and off raining for the remainder of kind of the afternoon evening. So went to bed a little bit earlier and that kind of thing just because there was a lot of rain. I did start reading The Story of Sir Arthur and His Knights by Howard Pyle, I think is the full title. And that's been very interesting. It's much older language, so lots of these and thous and thys. Sometimes it feels like there's too much description and it's a little flowery and there's just a lot of words where a few words would do, but sometimes it's very eloquent and there are some good nuggets in there. There's also some funny statements, like I'm not sure if they were intended to be funny, but reading them now, they're kind of funny. This morning I got a banana bread latte, which was very yummy, from the coffee truck that kind of shows up every Sunday that we're here for the holiday weekend. I was being a little silly and I smelled it and I was like, huh, this smells kind of fruity. A banana's a fruit. So that was a little silly of me. This is going to be the end of the video because we're just going to be prepping for the week, doing some meal prepping and that kind of thing. So thank you for coming along for this 4th of July weekend, hanging out with me a little bit. If you like this video and you want to see more, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!